afternoon. I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Monday, November 24th. The Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority received a $46 million federal grant to build a new maintenance facility. The decades-old current facility services the entire city bus fleet and is in deteriorating condition. The new facility will provide modern working bays for fleet maintenance and repairs, as well as facilities upkeep, and will also offer safe, climate-controlled environments and training areas for employees. CCRTA Chairman Arthur Granado told KIII News the new facility has been a need for years.
It's very old, it's outdated, it's antiquated. The rebuilding there, it costs millions of dollars just to keep it updated, and it's a facility that's basically exposed to the elements.
The upgraded facility will also play a critical role during emergencies, as workers and vehicles will have updated resources needed for quick responses.
It could house emergency vehicles during a time of that if we had a hurricane or something of that nature, and so that way they can be deployed very quickly. We could store them there.
That was at-large Councilman Roland Barrera, who is a former chair of the CCRTA, speaking with KIII News. The $46 million grant is part of about $2 billion in grants announced by the Federal Transit Administration last week. San Benito residents recently got to view architectural designs for the CISD's upcoming $24.16 million Performing Arts Theater at Veterans Memorial Academy. After 5 years of setbacks, the district is planning to break ground in January with the city's first Performing Arts Center set for completion in early 2028. MyRGV.com reports that the district's new contractor, D. Wilson Construction, presented designs showing a 30,000-plus square foot building near the campus's KSBG TV station. The two-level building will feature amenities like a 900-seat auditorium, a lobby with a 100-seat capacity, and a stage, along with 2 rehearsal halls, a conference room, and offices. The building's cost has jumped from $22.6 million to $24.16 million in several months after district officials requested a larger lobby, an 80-foot fly tower, and a modified orchestra pit. The theater is the center of a $40 million bond issue voters passed in a 2018 election, and it follows years of costly setbacks, including a failed construction job over which district officials have filed lawsuits against companies behind the work. 5 years after launching the failed construction job, the district now has about $29.3 million to build the Performing Arts Theater, along with an $8.8 million aquatic center. As the Texas water crisis continues, the Rio Grande, the border river shared by the U.S. and Mexico, is also experiencing a severe water crisis demanding urgent attention. That's according to a new study that calls for immediate investments in solutions. Texas Public Radio's David Martin Davies has more.
The study is called Overconsumption Gravely Threatens Water Security in the Binational Rio Grande Bravo Basin. Researchers found that more than half of all water consumed in the Rio Grande Basin on both sides of the border is unsustainable. The water is being pulled from reservoirs, aquifers, and the river itself faster than nature can replace it. The result is a river that runs dry for long stretches, shrinking farmland, collapsing aquifers, and growing conflicts between states and nations that share its water. More than 15 million people rely on the river for drinking water. Irrigated farming consumes 87% of the water. When surface water runs dry, farmers are forced to use reservoirs and groundwater faster than these sources can be naturally replenished. Meanwhile, the Rio Grande delivers just 15% of its natural flow to the Gulf of Mexico compared to its historical norm. I'm David Martin Davies in San Antonio.
The Rio Grande Valley was thrust into the national spotlight last year when the traditionally Democratic region voted to send Donald Trump back to the White House. 1 year after that election, residents there are navigating changes, both big and small. The Texas Tribune's Bernice Garcia reports.
Rio Grande Valley residents are dealing with the effects of a second Trump victory. In a lot of ways, life remains the same. But some lives here have been upended by layoffs or the immigration crackdown. Others have been impacted to a lesser extent, with people feeling the effects of tariffs. Meanwhile, city budgets are taking hits due to Trump's complicated relationship with Mexico. But people and institutional leaders hope to push the region forward by opening new businesses that service community spaces, offering free business classes, or even debuting a new college football team to rally the area. Those people want to show the Valley is more than just a battleground region at the center of the immigration debate. I'm Berenice Garcia in McAllen.
The Food Bank of the Rio Grande Valley was awarded a multi-year $150,000 impact grant last week. The Food Bank announced that it had been named as one of this year's 50 recipients from the Maximus Foundation, a nonprofit that focuses on organizations improving their communities. The $150,000 will be distributed over 3 years in increments of $50,000 per year. The first installment has already been received donated by the food bank. Food Bank RGV serves about 93,000 people weekly throughout Cameron, Hidalgo, and Willacy counties. The Maximus Foundation was established in 2000. Over 25 years, the organization has awarded over $17 million in grants to nonprofits. This year, they will award about $2 million in grants to nonprofits across the country. And in sports, we start off with high school volleyball. The Goliad Tigerettes won the Class 3A Division I state championship after they swept Bushland on Friday to claim the title. Meanwhile, high school football playoffs continued across the state. Your regional scoreboard includes Los Fresnos losing to Laredo United 27-20, Edinburgh falling to San Marcos 33-3, Flower Bluff fell to San Antonio Piper 42-35, and Veterans Memorial lost to Smithson Valley 34-0. Gregory Portland dominated Sharyland 73-21. Cal Allen moves on with a 42-14 win against Canyon Lake. Sinton defeated Yarrell 52-21 to advance. George West fell 29-0 to Lexington, and Rockport Fulton defeated Salado 56-28 to advance to the next round. In hockey, the Corpus Christi Ice Rays fell to the New Mexico Ice Wolves 2-1 on Friday, then 5-2 on Saturday. In college volleyball, UT-RGV and TAMU-CC's volleyball teams made it to at least the semifinal round of the Southland Conference Championship Tournament. Second-seeded UT-RGV swept defending champions TAMU-CC in the semis and then fell to top-seeded Stephen F. Austin in the championship match. In college football, after a 2.5-hour weather delay, UT-RGV football wrapped up its inaugural season with a 33-14 win against East Texas A&M. The Vaqueros finished the season with a 9-3 overall record and a 5-3 slate in the Southland Conference. They tied for third place with Lamar in the SLC standings. In Saturday's game, graduate student Nathan Denny led the Vaqueros with 26 carries for 158 yards. Eddie Lee Marburger went 17 for 22 for 141 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sophomore Ishmael Smith Flores caught 4 receptions for 37 yards and a TD. Defensively, graduate student Spencer Rich posted 13 tackles, including 5 solo. And in Columbia, Missouri, Texas A&M Corpus Christi's Elizabeth Hatavy competed in the NCAA Division I Cross Country Championships. The Southland Conference and South Central Regional Women's 6K champion crossed the finish line in the women's 6K with a time of 19 minutes, 29.4 seconds to finish in 46th place out of 262 competitors. And that is your sports roundup, and that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.